Hello. So it's actually been a couple days for me since I've actually recorded anything, and I do apologize for like the breaks between videos as of recent. I don't know. I just haven't recorded anything, and I just haven't put any of the videos that I've had together. I've just had them lying around, but like I haven't put them together. But other than that, let's talk about some match analyses. So we've got week 2 of the UBL. And this is our minor leagues match for the week. So we have Polito, which is young cracker, versus a new coach actually. This is Keenan. Keenan, I believe, at least knows Polito from somewhere. They at least seem to get along. And took over from Ad 2111. They were inactive for, like, basically since the draft started, which is unfortunate because their team's, like, really good. Like, I would say probably, like, second best. So it's kind of unfortunate. But at least Keenan, who took take over, their team name is the Fruitiest Vibes, which that is a vibe, even though we're listening to black and white music. They got a good team out of it. So it's not like they're coming in with a bad team. They're coming in with a very solid team. So, however, Polito's team is also very, very good. So, you can see that Team Polito's team on the bottom, they got the Kartana, the Tornadoes Incarnate, the Celesteela, the Kyogre, the Mega Sceptile, and the Galvantula. Versus Keenan's Mega Gengar, Dialga, Entei, Mimikyu, Raichu, and Kingdra. Can I just say, I really like the Kingdra bring? Like, it was something... So I played against Polito. Like, this is a bit of a familiar-ish matchup, because, like, it's Kyogre versus, essentially, Fat Rat's team from last season. With the Dialga and the Mega Gengar. But they also had Kingdra last season, and I actually prepped for Kingdra a decent amount, because I was expecting Kingdra to come with no Politoed. And you can see in this matchup here, there is no Rain Setter on Keenan's side, and instead is relying on Politoed's own Rain, which sounds weird to say, Politoed's Rain, but it's not Politoed the Pokemon saying the Rain, it's Politoed the player saying the Rain, with Kyogre the Pokemon. It's confusing, I know, but bear with me. Obviously Kyogre is just a massive threat, and even looking against this team, like, Kingdra will take hits decently well, and even Dialga can. But then you've got to worry about the two grass types, mainly Kartana with Sacred Sword as well to break through the Dialga. Tailwind pressure, like, this team is super, super offensive here. So let's just see how this goes. So we've got Celesteela, Kyogre as a lead versus Raichu, Entei. Entei here, it obviously kind of sucks because, well, you let it into Kyogre. But realistically, you don't always expect Kyogre as a lead. However, Raichu here looks insanely good. Obviously, there's a couple resists in the back, presumably. Like, you would expect at least one, probably two. Unless Tornadoes is in the back for some reason, which I would doubt. But there is no Lightning Rod off the bat, because Mega Sceptile does not start out Mega Evolved. So you don't have to worry about Lightning Rod immediately. You can at least fire some Electric Attacks, maybe try and get this Kyogre down a little bit before trying to make some plays, because Kyogre with Water Spout is a nightmare. So, we see the Protect from Kyogre, makes a lot of sense as the Fake Out goes into it. Eruption comes out, which doesn't really do that much, just because of the rain. And we see the Leech come out. This is kind of the standard Celesteela that people kind of know. Especially it's seeing play again once again in VGC 2021. And saw a good amount of play throughout all of Gen 7. The kind of standard sub Protect, kind of really bulky, annoying Celesteela, just because it's so hard to take down. So, they tried to Fake Out again. That probably could be a misclick if I was to guess. But we see the Wide Guard deck come out and a double KO from Water Spout, right off the bat. Wide guard tech, really cool. I'm not like wide guard's just such a good move. And honestly, it's like a move you want to use against Kyogre, but using it with Kyogre, like, kind of interesting. So we see the back two, we see the Mega Gengar, we see the Dialga, we see a Protect from Kyogre, makes a lot of sense. But the Thunder goes into the Celesteela. The Celesteela gets its Leech Seed off, and we see the Trick Room come out. A really nice play from Keenan. Sees that Polito's team is very, very fast, and decides, I'm going to bring a Trick Room mode. Even if you're bringing Mega Gengar into this, and I presume the plan was never to bring Mega Gengar into Trick Room, you're still, like, trying to bring Trick Room because you see there's the Tailwind as well. There's a lot of Tailwind support on Polito's Tide. Having some kind of Trick Room is very, very nice. So we see the Protect from the Celesteela, the Protect from the Mega Gengar, see a Flamethrower into the Celesteela. Water Spout comes out, does a chunk. And more Leech Seeds coming out. This Celesteela just getting what it needs to up. But realistically, the slow play from Celesteela doesn't really matter when a Kyogre you just kind of go burr. That is a perfect example of what happens when you leave Kyogre unchecked. It's an incredibly powerful Pokemon. And we didn't even see what item it was. So, I don't know what item it is either. Best guess, if it's not choiced, two options, it's either Mystic Water or it's Z-Move. I don't know if it's Z-Move, I don't remember seeing if it's Z-Move. But yeah, very, very good Pokemon. So, going to game 2, obviously Keenan's really got to respect this Kyogre a lot more. But this time we see a different lead, on both sides actually. Perhaps expecting more prep for Kyogre itself. Polito choose to lead differently, bringing the Tornadus and the Kartana. That is a good read, honestly, because you don't expect, like, if you led Kyogre one game, they're not going to lead Entei into it. They may not even bring Entei, because they're so scared, but realistically, may not be the best of ideas. But you've still got the Raichu, it's good fake out pressure, and the Kingdra, which was expected to be there for the Kyogre lead. So it's a good adjustment from Keenan, but Polito manages to mix up their lead instead, and makes this lead look a lot worse. But the Raichu is still good. I think Raichu lead is still a good play. Protect comes out, but a fake out goes into the Tornadus, and we see a hidden power. Now we can guess that his hidden power fire from the way they're playing it. So yeah, really nice tech. Hidden Power Fire Kingdra is a really cool tech here. Makes a lot of sense with Kartana being one of the main, like, ways to just shut down Kingdra. So yeah. We'll see a Protect come out as the Kyogre switches in, the Tailwind goes up, and we see a Hidden Power also fire presumably into the Kyogre. So yeah, the Hidden Power Fire techs are here, which makes sense, and I think, I'm not sure if Raichu would be able to do it, but I would expect Kingdra with Hidden Power Fire, even in rain, to take out an offensive Kartana. If it was bulkier, maybe in Assault Vest set, maybe not, but like we also saw it had Protect, so it would have to be pretty invested in Special Defense to take it, even in rain, from Kingdra. Raichu, I think not as much. Raichu Special Attack isn't at... Raichu Special Attack actually might be more, but you don't often invest into it as much. Protect comes out, no damage done, and we're looking at some pretty good damage. We see the Thunder come out, trying to take down this Kyogre. We see the Power come out. That is a pretty big power, because that basically negates the Tailwind speed boost and means that both Kingdra and Raichu are going to outspeed this Kyogre now. So it's a huge, huge power, and it really makes this Kyogre just, like, now dead. It has to Protect if it wants to waste any of these two Pokemon's moves. We see the Knockoff come out, but a Hidden Power comes out from the Kingdra, and we see its Life Orb, and a crit Ice Beam in return will take out the Kingdra. That was a crit that probably mattered. Kingdra is, I mean, he's base 95 special attack, or sorry, base 95 special defense, I think. And, like, Kyogre's strong, but it's strong with water moves. It's usually only goes for its ice moves when it has to. And it doesn't really do nearly as much damage without them. Or with the ice moves. Especially if they're not super effective. So, that crit probably mattered a lot, but also there was the power, which changed things, so it's hard to say. A bit of hacks on both sides. We see Mega Gengar come out immediately, which makes a lot of sense, and we see a Thunder straight into that Kyogre, taking it out, and Trick Room going up. So the main damage output is gone. Rain is still up to help protect this Celesteela a bit, but trying to take out this Gengar with a knockoff, not going to do it enough because it can't knock off that Mega Stone. And now Kartana in Trick Room, also not really going to be a favourable position. We see a couple protects going around. Flamethrower is not going to hit that Kartana, but it will get it next turn. See Leech Seed into Gengar. And now it's just Celesteela versus the world. Thunder hits and gets the power here, which is pretty big, because there's no rain up anymore. We see the Protect come out, try and get some Leech Seed. And once again, Flamethrower, Thunder, these are very powerful special attackers as well, I'd like to point that out. And we see the double. The double Protect. They play to their outs, they need this double Protect. Realistically. Because otherwise they are not going to have the HP gain. They just keep going for the Protect. The Thunder misses because there's no rain up anymore. Dialga's Flamethrower does 50%. Both of those hits connecting would have ended the game, but we see the Protect come out. The Thunder hits into the Protect, the Flamethrower hits into the Protect. Gengar's going to go down here to the Leech Seed. Dialga's going to take a bit more chip from the Leech Seed. We see the Flamethrower come out. Not quite enough, but we see the power. That could have gone for an attacking move, honestly, just to try and take it out, but we see the Protect. Hits right into the Protect, and the Dialga goes down to the Leech Seed, and that is it. Whew! Celesteela doing what it does best, and that is playing to an endgame where it can win. Granted, this was an endgame where it should not have won. The power really didn't end up mattering in the end, but there was a Thunder Miss and a double Protect, which really saved Polito from going into a Game 3 scenario. But that's also the power of Celesteela, and why the Pokemon really shouldn't be massively underestimated, especially in this kind of format, because it's a Pokemon where you play it to an end game. You can do the same with a lot of Pokemon, and if you can basically play them to an end game, you can really win the game. It's something I did a lot with Kyogre last season, where I'd be like, okay, yeah, so if I eliminate so-and-so, basically any grass type, Kyogre can sweep for a team. And you can do the same with Kyogre, but you can also do it in defensive scenarios, such as with the Celesteela. You can basically say, okay, so if this Raichu goes down, there's not an Entei doesn't come. Celesteela could do this on its own. Obviously, realistically, it shouldn't have, because Dialga and Mega Gengar put on a lot, like, so much offensive presence that not even Celesteela can realistically deal with it. But Polito basically played to their outs, and they got, I would definitely say, quite lucky, but they still had a Game 3 they could go into. It just meant Keenan didn't get a chance to go to that Game 3 and potentially adapt, seeing how much of a problem this Celesteela was. But yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. But that does make Polito 2-0, I believe. Which is pretty awesome to see. Polito has been a pretty great coach to speak to over the last few weeks, so I'm glad to see them doing well, and I hope that Keenan can pull themselves from this and make a comeback, because they're 0-2, they're 2-0 down in matches. One of them was because of the previous coach, but one of them obviously was this week. But they had a tough team to go against and probably didn't have as much time to prep as they would have liked. That being said, they've still got an incredible squad. And could absolutely make a comeback during this season and potentially make it to playoffs. So I would not count them out yet, and I think that is something we can look forward to. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. So take it easy, everyone.